Everybody, I'm here. Today's the day. Tonight's the night. As you can see, they know what's about to happen. They know exactly who I am. And I'm going to tell you everything tonight. Tell your friends, your family, your brother, your sisters, your cousin, anybody. This is what y'all been waiting for. This is no scam, nothing like that. Nothing like that. So be prepared, because here it comes.
Revelation 12. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she being with child cried, travailing in birth, and pained to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. And his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto God and to his throne. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. And the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time and times, and half a time, from the face of the serpent. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth, and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth.
This is Leo, the constellation of the royal lion. When the dawn breaks, we'll see that Leo is worn as a crown of royalty by the virgin princess. The lion forms the appropriate crown for her because she is of the house of David, the lion of the tribe of Judah. Significantly, this is the highest royal lineage of all the nations. This means the virgin is also born of the lineage of the high scepter of the seed of Adam. In her belly is the second Adam, the Savior of the world. On this fateful day, the virgin is clothed in the sun, and the moon is at her feet. Sunlight floods the sky, and since the virgin is clothed in the sun, we cannot see her, so we turn off her artwork. But the prophecy clearly states that the great sign is to appear in the heaven. High noon approaches. Then, on this special day, the sun turns as black as sackcloth, and the stars quickly fill the sky. Just like on the day of the crucifixion, it will remain dark for an incredible 3 hours. We stop the motion and zoom in. We fill the screen with our 2 constellations. To better see how the constellations are formed, we generate blue lines between their stars. Then we turn off the constellation artwork, leaving us with the lines of each constellation. We first turn our attention to the constellation of Leo. In Leo, the alpha or brightest star is Regulus, the regal king star. 8 additional bright stars are used to form the constellation. But this leaves us heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and on her head a crown of 12 stars. And she was with child, and she cried out, being in labor and in pain to give birth. Jesus calls such events fearful sights and great signs from heaven. The great sign from heaven will be the largest sign that has ever heralded a prophetic event. We are on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. It is 3 in the morning on September 23, 2017. The first constellation in the great sign is rising, stars prophesied to crown the Virgin. On this special day, 3 wandering stars are in rare formation within the boundaries of Leo. They are Venus, Mars, and Mercury. This gives us the prophesied 12 stars to form the crown. Now we move to Virgo. Her left hip is formed by the Alpha star named Spica, which means the seed. Her right hip is formed by the Zeta star named Hes, which means the branch. On this day, the Virgin is to give birth to the king planet between these 2 stars. Like all the planets, Jupiter, which images the Messiah, was misnamed and misdescribed by the Greeks. The king planet images the rescuing power of our Messiah. Because of this planet's gravitational strength, it takes countless hits or impacts for us from many of the dangerous objects that cross into the inner solar system. Also, the king planet has just spent 9 months in the belly of the Virgin, reinforcing the prophetic imagery of the Scriptures. To illustrate this wonder, we will now run the clock backward for a year. Notice that the king planet stops and turns around twice in retrograde motion while in the belly of the Virgin. In turn, the moon flies by along the ecliptic every month. This action by the moon will give us a means to mark the passing of the months. We stop our backward motion. We now change into forward motion. We pause the motion as Jupiter enters the belly of the Virgin. Now count the times that the moon flies by while Jupiter is in the Virgin's belly. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And in just under 10 months, we arrive back at our fateful day, September 23rd, 2017. Now we will recap the prophetic imagery in the great sign. First, we have Virgo, the Virgin Princess, imaging the Virgin Mary. Second, the Virgin is clothed in the sun, imaging the life-giving Spirit of God. Third, the crescent moon is at her feet, heralding this day as the Jewish Feast of Trumpets. Fourth, on this day, the Virgin also has a special crown of 12 stars, representing the lineage of the high throne of the nation of Israel. Fifth, the Virgin gives birth to the crown prince, the Messiah. Sixth, the crown prince has just spent a long 9 months in her womb, the time of human gestation. Seventh, so we can see this wonder, a special heavenly event causes the sky to fall dark for 3 hours in the middle of the day. The combination of all 7 of these independent actions into a great sign brings to life the exact imagery of the prophecy. However, if this sign were to occur repeatedly in the course of the travels of the planets, then how could we interpret it as a significant event? How often does this configuration occur in the heavens? The answer, it occurs only this one time. At no other time is the Virgin clothed in the sun, with the moon at her feet, while she is wearing a crown of 12 stars at the same time she gives birth. We have found no astronomy program that shows this configuration occurring at any other time throughout history, from the days of Adam, 6,000 years in the past, until the end of the millennial reign, 1,000 years into our future. Yet, this wonder was described in detail in Revelation chapter 12, nearly 2,000 years ago. The astounding fulfillment of this great prophecy is like a clarion blast of God's trumpet, broadcasting to all that the sign is a magnificent herald of end times events. Furthermore, its appearance is to occur on the exact day the Lord intends, a plan He laid out before He created the heavens. This means the great sign is an event that cannot be anything less than a miraculous herald of prophetic events. Furthermore, the imagery does not end with the first 2 verses we just read in Revelation 12. On this day, a famous comet carrying the Rosetta probe is beside the crescent moon. This comet bodes a day of disaster for the moon god of Islam. At noon, the foot of the Virgin is on one side of the moon, the comet is on the other. By the end of the day, the moon will be under the Virgin's feet. This day in 2017 is also unique for other reasons. As mentioned, this is the day of the Feast of Trumpets, one of the 7 appointed feasts of the Lord. The 7 feasts are prophetic of the 7 most significant events in redemptive history. Jesus was crucified on the first spring feast. This is the day of the first fall feast. In turn, this day on this unique year is also on the weekly 7th-day Sabbath. Finally, it is also the day of the fall equinox. Incredibly, all of these date markers in the heavens are occurring on the same day on the Lord's calendar. The day progresses. At 3 in the afternoon, the eclipse will be over. The sun reappears and shines for 3 more hours before it sets.
Breaking weather news in the last hour. We have learned this waterspout off Torrey Pines touched land as a tornado, technically. Meteorologist Angelica Campos is here now in the 10 News Pinpoint Weather Center with more on event.
Absolutely. Very rare.
Event.
Absolutely. Very rare. From sunny to a water spout. There you have it. You can see that video sent in by one of our 10 News weather watchers. Lifeguards actually reported a water spout about a mile offshore of Lax Beach at 5:35. Then it moved inland, making and actually touching ground as a tornado glider port before dissipating. Thankfully, there was no damage reports. That happened so very rapidly. That system, or that water spout rather, turned into a
weather
tornado.
alert. This water spout thing you see right here turned tornado, had jaws dropping in North County tonight. See right here, turned tornado, jaws dropping in North County tonight. 10 News reporter Emily Valdez is live at Torrey Pines. And Emily, you talked to a man who caught some great shots of this event.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable sight, and he saw it all from his balcony, those lights over there in La Jolla. So this little tornado, touchdown, just north of where we are here at the Torrey Pines glider port.
Kansas anymore.
Not Kansas, rather San Diego.
It was outside of my balcony, and
Damn. I think that's it. Oh, hell no.
it's this big dark cloud.
John Shapiro couldn't believe his eyes.
There were a lot of birds flying around. I looked up, and all of a sudden I saw this line forming going down the ocean.
The tornado touched down about 8:30 last night, ripping through a 3-mile section of Rancho Santa Fe. Officials say the twister started at the ocean, more or less skipped over Solana Beach, finally touching down in Rancho Santa Fe. The hardest hit part was this area along Las Planaderas. Thousands of trees uprooted, landing on homes, crushing through rooftops. This home was completely buried. Residents say they had little warning.
There was suddenly an extremely high wind, and the rain came down horizontally, and it was storming. It sounded, like freight trains going by, and you could hear the crashes of trees falling, and it lasted about 5 minutes.
The largest tree in our property fell right on the roof, and that happened, and then the power pole came down, and the electrical flashes were going around, and then the power went out, of course, and it all happened in, I'd say, about 30 seconds.
LaBarish says the storm caused at least $50,000 of damage to his home. Crews will work around the clock trying to repair the downed power lines, unblocking streets, and cutting down trees that may give way in the next storm. After cutting a path through this subdivision, the twister moved on to the Whispering Palms Golf Course. This garage used to be located 3 houses down from here. The tornado picked it up and dumped it in the front yard of this home. Miraculously, no one was injured in any of the tornado touchdowns. Further east of here, the storms caused even more problems. The normally dry San Diego riverbed is now swollen with over 8 to 10 feet of water, and overnight it washed out this bridge, the only link between Rancho Santa Fe and the Circle de Gueño area. 150 people are stranded. The residents have been without water or electricity since last night. Officials are calling the subdivision the Circle de Gueño Island. There's absolutely no way into the area except by boat or airplane.
We've got 2 pregnant ladies over there. One of them's about 9.5 months, but so far no labor pain. All we can do now is stand by, try to keep the people off the bridge because this looks like it's getting ready to go, and monitor the situation.
Plumlee says so far there's no emergency situation here, but the Sheriff's Department and the Office of Disaster Preparedness are standing by. If the situation does get worse, residents may be evacuated by boat or helicopters. Paula's on News 8, Rancho Santa Fe.
I'm Liz Purcell in North County, where Encinitas Boulevard, a road that leads to Rancho Santa Fe, was closed this morning. The San Dieguito riverbed was anything but dry thanks to the rain. The fact that the road was covered by fast-moving water didn't appear to faze these motorists, although there were those who opted to take another route.
I got a service call in Rancho Santa Fe. I'll go around the long way.
You're going to go around the long way?
Yeah, I think so.
Some cars have made it through.
Yeah, and what if I don't? Then I got to call my boss and tell him I'm stuck on a road that's closed? Not worth it.
Not far away in Olivenhain, Charlie, Ricky, and friends spent the day cleaning up after a wicked windstorm that hit last night. The winds ripped the roof off a barn, and it landed on top of Ricky's house.
Well, the roof, from what I can tell now, the roof came off of the barn, which is right next to my house. It flew over, hit some trees, and landed on top of my house and just shattered, putting good-sized holes in the roof and all kinds of stuff. It must have been either a lot of wind or a tornado. Or a twister of some kind.
The force of the wind was so strong it wedged a piece of wood in between the glass and the metal of a car window. The front windshield of the car was also shattered, and a sheet metal chimney was blown away. The barn and Charlie Ricky's house were the only 2 buildings in the area that were damaged. Liz Purcell, News 8, Olivenhain.
When the dragon saw that it had been thrown down to the earth, it pursued the woman who had given birth to the boy. However, the woman was given the 2 wings of a large eagle so that she could fly away from the serpent to her place in the wilderness, where she could be taken care of for a time, times, and half a time. From its mouth, the serpent spewed water like a river behind the woman in order to sweep her away from the flood. But the earth helped the woman by opening its mouth and swallowing the river that the dragon had spewed from its mouth. The dragon became very angry with the woman and went away to do battle against the rest of the children. And the dragon stood on the sand of the seashore. dragon stood on the sand of the seashore.
I'm lost for words, so rare that I can't even speak. I wanna scream from the mountaintops. I wanna be on my highest peak. They say the grass is greener on the other side. Good, cause I'm blue and I'm in need of a ride. They're doing everything, but I'm staying alive. The path I'm walking, no, there's never a line. I found myself alone, but never lost my way. It's been paid for me since the very first day. No one ever believed all the things that I say. All these synchronicities never end. It's overwhelming, but I'll continue to speak and speak. I won't hide all pain. I'll throw it all away. My pride, some days I feel hopeless, never showed that side. I could use some love and help, no, I'm not gonna lie. See, they trying to cross me, but maybe that's the thing, that I gotta move on and carry my own weight. If I don't move on, then it'll be too late. It will be too late. Yeah, it'll be too late. It'll be just too late. Don't you wait. I have arrived. I'm here to take you all away. By the time that you all wake, I'll be far away. Then it's gonna be too late. Then it's gonna be too late. It'll be too late. Too late. Yeah. Don't wait, don't go.